What's up, my HeyBower fans? You know what time it is. If you see me in a Raider hat, that means I made a Raider video. So I'm also going to make a video for this channel. Well, this is not going to be a long one. This is just going to be a truthful TMI, too much video telling you guys. But first off, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit that like button. Consider becoming a member of this channel. It really helps support me. It's only a couple of bucks. You get exclusive early content and future content as well. And it just really makes me feel like you guys appreciate me. And I know you do. But there's also ways to support if you don't want to become a member. I got merchandise down below. My merchandise store has a lot of autographed photos from various projects. You know, even the peculiar projects that a lot of people didn't even know I was in, that I will autograph it for you. And every autographed photo from my merchandise store comes with a video certificate of authentication sent to you in an email from my merchandise store. So you get me on video talking to you personally about the photo that you just bought. That's kind of like a Cameo. And I also have Cameos available. I think they're $50 or $60. And I will do a shout out. I will do a roast. I will host one of your events. I will propose to your wife in one of these videos, Cameo videos. Anything you need to hype somebody up, shout them out, tell a story, hit me up on Cameo for a very good exclusive video. And every Cameo comes with an autographed photo sent to you a couple of days later from me personally. And you definitely get a lot for your money. So I appreciate the love and the support. And real quickly, if you guys would like me to be a podcast guest on one of your shows, I am now offering up my services for $125 for an hour and a half. If you'd like to have me on your podcast for up to an hour and a half for $125. And yeah, that's my going rate. Hit me up on social media. All my information is down below. I also have donation portals down below, DMs, Instagram, and you guys can hit me up one way or another and get in contact with me if you're interested. And I appreciate everybody for chiming in. Also, by this time next week, I will have some personal items for sale on my merchandise store. They're only one of ones. They're very unique to me. It might be a prop. It might be a script. It might be a piece of clothing from a movie or a TV show that I wore in it. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to open up some boxes and see what I got. But by this time, or by next Friday, hit my merchandise store up to see what you can see. And the early bird gets the worm. That's how it's going to be. I may even do a live, not a live auction, but like a live sell-a-thon one day. I got to figure out how to do that. All right, but that brings me to today's video. I just wanted to be honest and say, like, I got a lot of barriers in my life, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and I struggle so much. And I'll be honest with you, I've told you guys this in other videos. Sometimes I don't see a future. And that is still the case. I don't see a future. It's because I don't have anything to do half the time. I don't feel passionate about anything. It's really hard for me even to, like, sometimes get out of bed, you know, out of my couch bed. It's really hard for me. And again, a lot of people say, oh, that's what depression is. That's what mental illness is. That's, you know, this and that. And then I struggle with the anxiety and the fears of leaving my house at certain times. And then, you know, like when I don't have a lot of money, I also become more depressed because I'm like, how am I going to get the money to pay my bills? And whenever things go wrong in my life, you know, like the convention that I basically lost about $4,000, how am I going to get that money back? You know, like, it all really meshes with me. And at my age, I'm now 49, I don't know how to break free. from these things, they last long. They last long. And I get so used to like turning off all the lights and watching TV shows and lying in bed, sulking, feeling bad for myself, or basically my body in my mind becomes even more unhealthy. I'm like, oh my God, my back is hurting today. When truth be told, you just need to wake up, take an aspirin, and start moving your body, then your back will feel better. And I know a lot of you guys come to me for positivity, and you deal with the same things. And most of the time I say, you know what? It's all good. It's all going to be good. And I do believe that. But the problem is, if everything's going to be good and there's better days ahead, you can't just believe it. You have to make it happen. And that's where I struggle. Instead of waiting for things to become better, I have to make them better in my life. Same thing goes for everybody. And a lot of us were born with the negative gene. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it the negative gene. For some damn reason, we tend to go 70% negative on everything instead of 50-50. And then some people go 70% positive. Some people go 90% positive. Everybody has a different level to them. But I was born with the negative gene, and it overtakes my positive gene. I feel really positive when I have, 3 months of bills in my bank account. When I have 3 or 4 months of bills in my bank account, I feel positive, more positive, because I'm like, hey, I got 4 months to make more money. But when it comes down to only having 1 month or stuff like that, or living month to month, which I typically do, but there are occasions where I have 2 or 3 months amount of money ahead of time. And that's what I thought would be happening for me recently. But it's not, because I lost a bunch of conventions and money and opportunities. Not to due to any fault of my own. But now I'm back at that place where I'm negative again. And it's really hard to wake up and be passionate to try to make money. So I could possibly continue this depression activity, but that's not going to solve my problems. So back to what I was saying, it's like we have to make it happen. So in order to better your life, and I'm not just talking financially, I'm talking spiritually, emotionally, physically, we have to make it happen. And that's where we have to beat our brain. And I don't mean that the way it sounded, but we have to physically and mentally overpower the negative thoughts and feelings. And then we have to get on a routine. We have to be consistent. And we have to do all that other stuff that eventually will produce more income, better days, better, spirituality, emotions. That starting point, for some reason later in my life, I have not been able to overpower my brain and do that stuff. I tend to get on vampire schedules. I sleep all day, stay up all night, because I like being away from the world. And that's one of the things that scares me the most, is because I'm getting used to my own little black hole, no pun intended for the Raiders. And that is not a good way to live. And I don't know how to break out of it. I mean, I do break out of it, but it'll only happen for a couple weeks at a time. But it always comes back. It is just this scary pattern that has been around me my entire life. And that's why I call it like the negative gene, the dark hole. I'm just happy I'm not worse. Because I could be one of those people that, leans toward alcohol or drugs, during my depressions or whatever. But I guess I lean toward Captain Crunch cereal and sleeping, So good thing on me. But I just wanted to say, I'm sure we all have these barriers and we don't know how to get out of them. I don't have the answers, but the answer is within you. Just get it started. And I don't want to be on pharmaceutical medicines. People will say, take a Xanax, take a this, take a Percocet or this or what. Oh, this is one of your problems, Michael. You need to go to the doctor. You need these pills. Look, I'm sure I do. I'm sure I do. But you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. Because some people get worse on pharmaceutical drugs or they become a different person. And if I don't learn how to battle these demons or whatever it is I'm dealing with without pharmaceutical medicine, I haven't always been this way. I mean, I have been, but it's been hidden. And for the most part, I was more positive, running around doing everything. Buying a car, driving around, getting jobs, making money, doing everything I could when I was younger and healthier. But, these last 10, 15 years, I've just become like a shell of a man. I've become broken. I've become really, really broken. But I still have the big heart. I still think as positive as I can be. And, I'm doing really good without pharmaceutical medicines. I know they would help, but it wasn't in me from birth. And it's not going to get any worse than it is. I hope not. I'm getting old. Schizophrenia and other things might happen. I hope not. But that being said, I just wanted to know what you guys suffer with. It's really hard to actually be public and tell people the truth. Like I said, I don't see a future sometimes through all my issues. And it's scary as hell. And I know I need to have more people around. I need to be more constant. And that will open up sunshine in my life. I get it. It will. But how do I start? And how do I overpower my brain and the negative gene that I was born with that has now really made its way out? It's really, really tough. The strength is within you. The strength is within you. So let's all keep battling to find it. We're going to be okay. But I just wanted to know, what do you battle with? If you want to hit me up in a private direct message on Facebook or Instagram, or leave an audio message or something instead of leaving here on a public forum, please do so. Because we all have issues. And I'm proud of each and every one of you. Because guess what? We're still here. And as long as we're talking about it, it's not winning. You get that? As long as we're talking about it and we're addressing it, we know the problems, and it is not winning. You know how they call people crazy? They go, oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. And then sometimes people say, well, I know I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. No, you wouldn't. If you are crazy, you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't even make that statement. I know I'm crazy. So that's what I mean. If we're talking about it, we're winning and we're defeating it. So that's a little bit of positivity for everybody. That being said, I've been trying to avoid drama, controversy, because I don't like to be mixed up in any of that stuff. And every time I open up myself to hanging out with people, to calling people on the phone, and just trying to be more public, some sort of controversy or drama or problem happens, and it might be because of me. I might technically be a drama starter and I don't even realize it. And that's the problem for some people. I do have TMI. I talk too much and I'm very open. And sometimes I have no filter. And that could be a good or a bad thing. But I've been trying to shut down my filter and say things to people that I know will hurt them, but I think it's like constructive. Because I am smart and intelligent, and I do have good advice on maybe 7 out of 10 things, maybe 6 out of 10 things. And then the other 4, I'm just stupid in that area, because not everybody knows everything and has to, live life perfectly. I don't care who you are. But I avoid it. I avoid the negative comments, the negative stories, and I don't know why I'm afraid to speak truth. I guess the world that's around me, the censorship, the this, the that, and the comments and the feedback from people that don't agree with me or don't value my opinion or don't believe one of my stories or whatever the case may be, they critique me and then I don't take it very well. So then I'm like, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. And then I always worry about, bringing up somebody else and telling a story about them when they were younger or things that we did or whatever, because they don't want to be hurt, like maybe in their older age. They got a family now. And, why are you telling those stories of when I was a playboy or a player, going out, trying to meet people, dating everybody, lying and cheating and drinking or whatever the case may be. But I've been living in stories lately, and that's all I have. I'm remembering stories. I've been talking to actor friends. I went to a convention recently, and I felt really good. We were telling stories. So the past, my career, my friendships, all these stories are hitting me up. Then I'm watching controversy with some of these actors like Ashton Kutcher, Leo DiCaprio, Toby, Donch Plum, Danny Masterson. I'm watching all these stories and these controversies, and I have stories that might lead to a conclusion, or I've had interactions with pretty much all of these people that might add along to the reason why they had that controversy. But is it my place to just all of a sudden come out and dogpile on top of these people while they're going through controversies? Is it my place? Would it make a difference? No, unless it was an actual crime. But then again, it might have been, you know what I mean? It's just like, and I want to tell stories, and I want to tell content, and I like bringing up my past and some crazy things that happened in front of my eyes that would lead to some of these, activities that I see on the screen, with the whole Hollywood possibly being a shit town against children or abusing and all that other stuff. Like, when I was around it, I didn't really understand it. Not that it happened to me or anything, but like, I can see now in my old age, I can see where, wow, those people, I get it now. And I see it from an older perspective. And I have a lot of stories where I'm like, woo. But is it my place to tell these stories? And then I think I want to have a podcast. And the only way your podcast can become popular is if you tell these type of stories. and not only clickbait, but you use people's names, and you bring them into the fire. That way you get more viewers, you get more sponsorships, and your podcast becomes viral. I mean, that's kind of what happened when I did the talking about the Quiet on the Set documentary and my experiences with that Brian Peck guy and the one person that came from Nickelodeon. And that bit me in the ass. Like, it literally affected a lot of other people. Just by me telling my experiences, it affected so many other people, and they got mad at me. And it brought negative stuff to me. And then the truth of it is, was my story needed? I don't know if it was. Did it help anybody? I don't know if it did, because nothing really happened to me. These were just scary interactions that now, as an adult, I look back and I go, damn. And I have a lot of these stories and interactions with a lot of people, producers, actors, directors, and they're not all of a positive nature. Doesn't mean abuse or this or that. It just means character type things, like using their power and negative stuff. And I have a lot of these stories. And I've been living in a story world where I want to tell everything, because I'm tired of holding everything in. But then again, will it help anybody? Will it affect these people? I mean, if somebody was an asshole to me, that's all it was. They were an asshole to me. So does that need to be featured publicly for a couple thousand viewers to make a couple of dollars on a YouTube video or in a podcast to create a headline? I don't know. And that's what I've been dealing with, because I need to make more money. I need to make a podcast, and I need to have headlines to hopefully get more people, to make a few more dollars. And then that would be like, is that the only content I can do at my age and with my health, is telling stories? And I fear that's the truth. I want to make movies and skits and commercials. I ain't got the health. I ain't got the technology. I ain't got the friendships coming over to help me. I don't have any of that. All I got is my camera and my stories. But I know the negative stories or the crazy stories get the views. And I'm at that point where I'm like, damn, do I sell my soul and start doing all that? So those are the thoughts that have been entering my head recently. But I'm hoping to find more positive stories, because I honestly don't like the feeling of any of that stuff after I tell a story or whatever. I have anxiety. I think about it. Why did you open your mouth? That didn't do anything for anybody. It doesn't help anybody. It's just a stupid negative story with bad things that happen or bad interactions. I just get mad at myself after, and I beat myself up for it, you know. I don't technically want that to be my future. So if you guys have any ideas to help inspire me, because it seems like nowadays I can only tell stories or talk, and I've been living in a negative fashion, so my humor and my fun and my positive side, I've been struggling to get it out. And I want to, I just don't know how to get it all back. Because I know you guys love the funny, positive, comedic Michael HeyBower. But you guys have gotten the negative, scared, anxiety-filled, depressed. Michael HeyBower for many years now. And I'm not going to apologize for that because that's who I am. But I want to bring you guys more and the true nature of who I am, and I haven't been able to. So I guess I'm apologizing. What do I call this video? I'm depressed. I'm sorry. I don't know. All right, guys. I've held you on here for another 25-minute video. If you guys stayed this long, write Rick and Morty sucks in the comments. Nobody's going to write that because Rick and Morty's pretty good. But I promise you guys, I'm going to get you guys some movie reviews this next week. And I've been working on trying to see if an editing program will work on this computer. I'm trying to figure out a way to come back to make a vlog or do a cooking video live or something. But I'm struggling. I'm having trouble getting out of bed. I'm having trouble making money, being positive. Fucking sucks. This dark hole. Rick and Morty sucks down below. If you guys stayed this long, I appreciate you. And again, I love y'all. Thank you guys for listening and trying to empathize and understand a actor, what you guys might call a celebrity that's out of the limelight and struggling just to live life. The only time you guys hear about the struggles of actors or whatever post-acting or later in their life is when they're on TMZ for drugs and alcohol and abuse. I'm giving you guys the before. I don't think I'm going to do the after. I hope not. I don't think I am. But I'm giving you guys a look at some of the mental pressures and issues a lot of us face. Actors are different people. That's why they're actors. Because we're all made differently. And we're all a little bit unique, weird, mental, crazy, whatever you want to call it. We have to be that to become an actor. We don't want to be ourselves because we sometimes truly don't know who we are. And then when we find out who we are, we don't like it. I know who I am. I don't like all of it, but I love most of it. Thank you guys for chiming in, watching the video. I'll see you soon.